Alright, in this video we're going to go over how to drain the fluids to start winterizing your Volvo Penta 8.2 GSI. This may be the same for other Volvo engines as well. Most of them are laid out pretty similarly with small differences. Now on mine here, at the back of the exhaust manifold, I've got a little rubber cap with a seal around it, a band clamp around it. I'm going to undo that to drain that particular location. We got that one off and it's drained out, and the cap looks like this, pretty small. Yours might have a bolt or something else in there. This one had a cap. So the next hose we're going to pull, I'm on the this side of the motor here. So if you go down right below the alternator and the power steering pump, you're going to see this hose here. It comes from the other side of the engine, from the raw water pump, and I'm going to drain it here because this is a lower point than some of the other spots. So we're going to undo this band clamp, pull the hose off, and push the hose nozzle down so gravity can help it drain out there. Alright, now we're on the other side of the motor. I went ahead and removed the plug, but just to show you where exactly it is, it's hiding behind some of these wires here. It's this nozzle here. Same spot, opposite side of the motor, right underneath the exhaust manifold. So you want to remove that cap, let it drain out. The cap looks just like this. That's the one that came off. And next, you want to follow this hose from the top of the motor, this large one here. So this small one's the one that goes around the bottom of the motor that you pulled off right underneath the power steering. So this big one is the next one you want to pull off. It's pretty short and it comes right here. I went ahead and pulled it off. A lot of water came out of this guy. Make sure you don't lose your clamps. If you got them in a good spot, just go ahead and leave them. And sometimes on some motors, I bring them up a little bit higher and use some electric tape or something like that to hold them in place. That way they're not falling down into the bilge. And then you also want to remove these two on the raw water pump. There are two different sizes on this particular motor. Sometimes they're the same size. If they are the same size, make sure you mark them so you know which one goes where. On this one, on this 8.2 GSI, this nozzle is a little bit smaller, this one's a little bit larger. So go ahead and pull those two off and let them drain out. And then the last piece on this motor that you need to drain is the block. On this side of the block, where there would sometimes be a drain, is a knock sensor, this guy here. So you want to remove the clip, make sure you don't yank on it, push the little clip so it releases, remove that, and then use not a ratchet, but some kind of open-ended wrench to remove the knock sensor. Be real careful not to break it. If you break it, you do need to replace it for everything to run properly. Once you remove that, you should see some fluid draining from there, and that should be it for getting all the water drained out of the boat. The other thing you want to do is also put your outdrive all the way down and let the water drain out of your outdrive. And if you do live in an area where it's going to get pretty cold, below 25 or so, you want to drain the fluid, the outdrive oil as well, in case there's any water built up in there. If there is, it will freeze and it'll crack open the outdrive housing or mess with the internal parts. So make sure you drain your fluid from your outdrive, fill it with fresh fluid, and store it in the down position. That way you don't have any sort of stress on the bellows that might cause cracking and such. So that's it. That's the easy way to drain all the water from your Volvo Penta